Why is this so hard? What if I fail again? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why am I so afraid to take the first step? Is this just who I am? Have you ever noticed that inner dialogue showing up right when you want to change, when you're ready for more, but something inside you won't move? That voice is usually filled with fear, with self doubt, and frustration. And it's not because you're broken, friend, but because part of you is trying to stay safe. In today's episode, we're talking about why change feels so challenging and why your brain is actually a prediction machine, not a change machine. This conversation might completely change the way you see resistance and yourself. But before moving forward with today's episode, I want to thank several of you who have been listening on YouTube and have left me comments there. I see you and I am super extra grateful because you are tuning in. Yes, friend, I am on YouTube. I am on YouTube. And I know sometimes Spotify and Apple Podcasts can be super challenging. So this is an alternative for you. And you can listen to me while doing your errands or driving or anything that you do. So make sure that you subscribe there. Also, if you've been feeling a little frustrated with yourself for not changing faster, She Who Aligns is the self-paced guided blueprint I created with all the love in the world to help you understand your patterns, your rhythm, and your alignment through my proprietary Align framework. So make sure to check it out. It's a beautiful guided blueprint that you can download instantly and has 4 bonus gifts, 3 recordings that are going to up-level your day. And then it also has a module on Align manifesting so that you can create the life that you want easier. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you're ready to have me as your accountability partner, remember that you can always come into my coaching container because it is open. But I have to say that I only have a few spots. I don't have a lot of spots. I have only selected few spots during the month. So make sure to jump in. And this is where we restore coherence together at the level of nervous system, identity, and embodied action. And we do it weekly by Zoom. Okay, everything is going to be linked for you in the show notes so that you can check it out. And now, let's get started with the episode. If you're tired of feeling stuck, disconnected, or held back by old beliefs, and you're ready to start living in alignment with your deepest values, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Michelle Marie, spiritual neurocoach, cancer survivor, and twin mompreneur. On Rewire to Align, I share the neuroscience and spiritual practices that help me transform my own life, guiding you to release limiting beliefs, rewire your mind, and step fully into your sovereignty. Are you ready to live in alignment with who you truly are? Let's rewire, align, and manifest. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Rewire to Align. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Michelle Marie, and I am your favorite spiritual neurocoach. And I love that you are here. And every week we come together to talk about alignment from a neuroscience and spirituality point of view. And also, I mention other tools that I love to use in my daily life because, amiga, real alignment happens when your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies are all in coherence. And if this is your first time tuning into Rewire to Align, welcome to the podcast. I love that you are here. And to start, there are several episodes that are going to be foundational for you. Episode 1, and remember, episode 1 is my number 1 episode, and I was not as comfortable as I am now. Episode 49 and episode 53. And you can find those in the catalog because I did an Excel spreadsheet that has all the episodes by category. Yay! The link to the catalog is going to be in the show notes so that you can look for them. And thank you again. Thank you for tuning in, for being here. I hope that the topics that I bring here and that I speak about serves and blesses you. And please, please remember to share with your family, share with your friends, share with anybody that you love. Okay, amiga, let's talk about change because that's what we're here for and why it is so challenging sometimes. And this is something that I see all the time in my coaching container. And also something, something that I have struggled with. Everybody goes through it. So don't feel that you are the only person on earth going through this or thinking that, oh my God, change is so freaking difficult sometimes. No, everybody has gone through it. However, I work with women who are super smart, super self aware. They're super motivated to change. They've done the work. They understand themselves. They show up every day for themselves. And yet, they feel stuck in certain loops. And eventually, the question that they ask me is, why is it so hard? What is wrong with me? Why can't I do it? Why can I do it? So I want to answer that today, and I want to do it from a place of compassion and love and through the lens of neuroscience and spirituality, because I see that when I explain the mechanics of the brain and the spirituality behind it, it is easier to see the big picture and digest it and then welcome change. Plus, I know also the frustration. It's that gap between knowing what needs to change and actually changing it. I've had those moments where I've had total clarity on what I needed to fix, only to wake up the next day doing exactly the same old thing. And it's exhausting. You know what to do. You're not lazy, right? But you still keep hitting the same invisible wall. So, why do we keep running back to the same frustrating but comfortable patterns? Let me tell you something I know I have mentioned before, but it is the main teaching of this episode. Your brain is not here to make you happy. Let that land. It's not here to make you happy or fulfilled. It's here and it is designed to keep you safe. When we see it from the neuroscience perspective, the brain is constantly predicting what's familiar, what's survivable, what have I already lived through, and it prefers those things, even if they're uncomfortable, even if they are keeping you stuck. It prefers that over the unknown or over the new thing. So when you try to change something, your brain is not asking, oh, is this better? It's asking, is this safe? And unfamiliar and new often feels unsafe. It does because it's unfamiliar, it's new, you have never done it before, right? Have you ever stayed in a situation you didn't like just because you knew what to expect? Been there, done that, but the t shirt. Or have you ever gone back to an old habit during a stressful time, even though you promised yourself you wouldn't go back, right? Or have you ever felt resistance show up when things were about to change? My friend, I know that it looks like self sabotage. I know that it looks like self sabotage, but that's your brain choosing predictability over possibility. Or, in better words, choosing comfort over growth. You know that feeling when everything starts changing at once and you're like, wait, what is happening right now? It can feel like the ground just shifted under you. You get tense, your mind starts spinning, you cannot focus on anything except the problem. And honestly, sometimes you just want to shut down and crawl into bed. And here's the thing, that's not you being lazy or being dramatic or not wanting it bad enough. That's just your brain going, hold on. This feels like a lot right now. Let me protect you for a second. When things feel unfamiliar or uncertain, your brain switches into safety mode, not growth mode, to safety mode. So, even if you know what you want to change, and even if you really want it, your body might not be ready to move yet. That's why knowing what to do doesn't always mean You can do it right away. Has this ever happened to you? Your system has to feel safe enough first, friend. And if we look at this from the spiritual perspective, it is the same thing, but different language. Spiritually, we talk about the ego, not in a bad way, just the part of you that learn who to be to survive. So when you start changing your habits, your boundaries, your identity, the way you show up, that part of you gets nervous. It's like, wait, if you change, who am I now? If you stop overgiving, will people still want you? If you go after what you really want, what happens if it doesn't work? So the ego tightens its grip. Again, this is not to sabotage you, but to keep things in the familiarity, or in the familiar. And you probably felt this before. Like when you say you're ready to leave a job, but suddenly you feel exhausted every time you think about updating your resume, or a relationship is not aligned anymore, but the idea of being alone feels very, very scary. Or maybe you tell yourself, this is the year I am finally going to change and step into the identity of the person I want to be. And then you freeze. That's not a spiritual block. That is not resistance because you're doing it wrong. That's basically your system saying, listen, this is new. I don't know who I am on the other side yet, so give me a break. And both neuroscience and spirituality agree on this. Real change doesn't happen through force, and I think I've mentioned this before. It happens when safety and trust comes first. I think I mentioned this in the last 4 episodes of January. So the reframe that we need to do and that I want you to sit in with, and we're doing it right here, right now, IRL, is that change isn't hard because you're bad at it. And it's not hard because you don't want it badly enough. Change is hard because your brain is not designed to make you happy. It is designed to keep you safe. Put it on a post-it note so that you remember this when you are being hard on yourself. Your brain is constantly predicting what's coming next based on your experiences in the past. It's gonna always ask questions like, did I survive it? Did it cost anything when I do that, when I did that? So when you try to change, even in a good way, your system goes like, wow, this is unfamiliar. And I am repeating myself because I want you to understand this concept, because I know that it's the start of the year and you're probably thinking that you're going into self-sabotage and doing all these things and trying all these things and you cannot change and you don't understand why. And then you say that you're doomed because, oh my God, I am doomed because I am this way and I cannot change. Even if it looks like you're self-sabotaging, your brain is trying to predict that safety before it allows change. And spirituality, the ego has fear of letting go. Neuroscience and spirituality are very, very weaved together. It's the same thing. Your system is protecting a version of you it knows how to keep alive. And you know what? I'm just going to give you an example here so that this lands clearer. It's 2026. It's the last week of January, and you already went into the vision board and put all these things over there in the vision board. And one of them is a healthier relationship with money. You want to become a millionaire. You want to make, I don't know, $10,000 more. I don't know. Whatever it is, all about money. So you want a healthier relationship with money. But your system learned when you were a child, a teenager, early 20s, whatever it is, that money equals stress, that money equals pressure. You probably had a lot of conflict or saw your parents having conflict because of money or instability. You saw your parents struggle at one point, and that struggle was for a long time. So that equal instability. Then this is what happened, what's happening. You register that is your chip, that is your program. Then the moment you sit down last week, today, tomorrow. The moment you sit down to look at your finances, your body tightens. You start procrastinating, right? You avoid, you distract yourself. Tell me yes or no if this happened to you already. And this is happening because your system is trying to protect you from something that once felt unsafe. Instability is not safe, friend. If that's what you saw when you were a child, that's not safe. That's super unsafe. So your system is protecting you from that feeling. Change doesn't start when you make a better budget. It starts when your body learns that being with your finances doesn't equal danger anymore. That's when the new behavior becomes possible. The same thing with love for my single friends out there or my married friends out there that want to have a better relationship. You might say, oh my God, this year I want a healthier relationship. I want to be better at communicating and I want to stop choosing people that have the same patterns. But if when you were a child, you learned that love meant abandonment, rejection, loss of self, emotional chaos, all of this, right? Then when a relationship starts to feel real, what do you do? Friend, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? You pull away, you overthink, you probably shut down, you probably overattach. Why is that? It's not because you're broken, because we are not broken. I've told you this a million times. It is because what happened? Your nervous system is scanning for safety, not romance. So, real change in love doesn't begin with better boundaries or better communication scripts. It begins when your body feels safe enough to stay present instead of protecting itself. So the question here is not, Michelle, why can't I change? That's not the question. The real question is, what does my system need in order to feel safe enough to change? And this is the order that change actually follows. And maybe you want to look at the minute here so that you see the order in your head, right? Because I am talking, but I want you to mark this moment in the podcast. This is the order change actually follows: safety first, then capacity, then choice, then behavior. When safety is missing, willpower is going to collapse. And when safety is present, change feels almost obvious. And my friend, you know what that's called? Alignment. That's alignment, not forcing yourself into a new version, but creating enough internal safety that your system stops pulling you back to the familiar. And when that happens, change doesn't feel like a battle. It feels like something you're finally ready for. And this is the work I do with my clients, helping the nervous system feel safe enough to move forward instead of trying to force change through willpower. And we do it weekly, we do it live via Zoom. And I am inviting you to my coaching container, and I only have a few spots every month. So make sure to come in. And She Who Aligns is not only a workbook, it also includes guided audios for nervous system regulation, identity anchoring, subconscious rewiring, and aligned manifestation. And is designed for the moments when you're activated or overwhelmed, or if you want to just, get to know yourself and become the best version of yourself. And everything is going to be linked in the show notes for you to check them out and choose the path that works better for you. Beautiful soul. Before you go back to your day and I go back to mine, I want to leave you with something very simple. The next time you notice yourself thinking, why can't I just do it? Why do I keep going in circles? Why does this feel so hard when I know what I want? Take a pause. Pause and stop judging yourself. Instead, I want you to try asking yourself a reflection question. What part of me is trying to stay safe right now? Very simple. Maybe it's the part that remembers failing before, or the part that's afraid of disappointing someone. Maybe it's the part that doesn't want to lose stability, comfort, or identity, even if that identity no longer fits. That hesitation you feel, it's not a setback. It's just data. Take it as a sign to pause, to learn, to reflect, not to stop. And once you start listening to your body and taking this pause and not fighting it, you're going to notice how things are going to start shifting in a really gentle and lasting way. This is how we rewire. This is how we rewire. If this episode gave space for you to feel something or to think about something that you have been experiencing, please save it and come back to it. Also, share it with someone who's been hard on themselves lately, because it's just beginning of the year and we're so hard on ourselves. And if you want support learning how to work with your nervous system, you know where to find me. And if something comes up for you while you reflect and you want to share, you know that you can find me on Instagram at Michelle Maripacheco. And if you want to find community, you can come inside Rewire to Align, where you're going to find other like-minded women walking this path with you. Plus, every Wednesday, I am doing live transmissions over there. They are called the Midday Align. The Midday Align. That's what it is. So come and join. Amiga, I'm leaving, but I want to leave you with this. Change does not start with action. It starts with safety. Safety creates capacity. Capacity allows choice. And then behavior changes. I'm sending you lots of love, and I see you on the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I love creating it. If what you heard today resonated with you, the best way to support the show is by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback helps me continue creating content that empowers you and deepens your spiritual connection. Just scroll down to write a review and share your thoughts. And if you love what Rewire to Align is about, share it with your friends and family. I truly believe the world transforms when we come together to create positive change. I look forward to be with you again next week.